Hey guys, Alex here with my Chikara reviews of the Young Lion Qualifier Cup shows. This is going to be the reviews of The Foggiest, Notch, Smack in the Middle, The Great Escape, and Give 'em the Axe. And I'm going to be breezing through this because these are pretty long long reviews. So, first was The Foggiest Notch. This is a pretty good show from Chikara. Pretty solid show. First match was Leah Von Dutch versus Sara Del Rey in a rematch from their show in Canada. This was a little bit better than their first match. Nice little veteran versus rookie story going into it. Crowd was pretty hot for Leah, whatever her name was, and Sarah worked the heel, which was fine. Then we had Tim Donst versus Sugar Dunkerton in Sugar Dunkerton's return match. Actually, it was a decent match, pretty basic. Finish was really out of nowhere, just really quick and kind of left, kind of wanted more from that. Then we had the very first of the Young Lion Cup qualifiers. This is being Ethan Page, Jakob Hammermeier, Sebastian, Suave, and Buxx Belmar, who was a last-minute substitution for the guy who missed it. Pretty fast-paced match, some cool spots. Some good double team moves, really, and eliminations came a little fast, and kind of all at once. It was really big grouping, for the first two, which kind of was the pattern for the first qualifiers too. So, but good match though. Definitely, solid. Everyone got to look good at least. Then we had Hatfield versus Generico. Nice matchup again. Nice little thing of Hatfield kind of, being his usual self, but trying to get, be more serious because this is the weekend that he had the match with Eddie Kingston the following night. The comedy was good. Went a little too long for me, but, it gave Dasher a nice win going into the next night for his, Grand Championship match. Next we had the Shard, ASSAILANT, and deviANT versus Quackenbush and The Colony, Gran, and SoldierANT. This was a good trios match, really solid. Good little story, Mike Quackenbush and SoldierANT, especially, they'd be more aggressive with the Gakito guys, which is cool. I like that. I thought that added a little bit to the story. Ending was kind of flat though. It was kind of another quick ending, which I didn't care for. Ophidian versus Jigsaw. This is another really good one. Really good back and forth. Both guys look really strong, and Ophidian getting a big win here was very helpful, especially considering he just came off of the pay-per-view where he lost UltraMantis, so he kind of needed this to get his heat back and kind of give him another momentum. Then we had the main event, which is the Bravado Brothers versus 3.0. This was a solid main event. I like the story of these two teams feuding together, and it was all right. I expected it to be a little bit better though, but not bad. Like I said, everything on the show was pretty solid. Nothing spectacular, but just pretty solid from top to bottom. And consistent. Then we had Smack in the Middle. This is actually probably the best of the four, or probably actually second best because I forgot about the Great Escape. But this is another really good one. For with deviANT and Greenant, this was a good match. Very basic, I think. Didn't last very long. Crowd got into it a lot, but it was just more or less, to have the Gakito lose basically. Crowd seemed to enjoy it though. Next we had Jakob Hammer versus Sugar Dunkerton. A few funny parts to start. These guys were pretty good comedy guys. Basic match at the end, but again. Next was the Shard and Jigsaw. This is a very good match. Really sold the feud between these two guys, especially because these are the polar opposites of each other. So I thought that worked really well. Really good, nice false finishers. Got a lot of time. Ending was very flat. I thought. It was a crossbody for the finish, which I didn't like, and just kind of sudden. Actually, a lot of these matches on this show had flat finishes, I think. Tim Donst, Sara Del Rey, another good one. Good brawling and some nice technical wrestling. He's got a good story of Tim Donst kind of using this new character he's developed, where he's more aggressive and more kind of disturbed in his matches. He acted like it was really cool for his character. Again, the finish just kind of came out of nowhere and was kind of flat. The Bravados versus Hallowicked and UltraMantis. Good tag team match. Nice young guys versus veterans. So that worked. Bravados looked good again. Finish was kind of cool because it was UltraMantis cheating to win, which kind of fit the whole thing of Bravado's we're trying to cheat too, and so the UltraMantis, I guess it could fit UltraMantis just being the devious one he is. So it works, I guess. Then we had the Young Lion Cup qualifier again. This is one between Jason Axe, Tripp, Cassidy, Mr. Touchdown, and Ryan Rush. This was very short. For those of you who don't know, apparently this is like the one where they were told that the first elimination had to take place at the 8-minute mark, and they thought that meant the whole match had to be 8 minutes, so it really suffered from time. So that really sucked. So extremely short. Some good spots though, but crowd really died after Jason Axe, the hometown guy, was eliminated. And like I said, the timing just really hurt the match. That super hurt. This is probably the worst of the elimination matches just because of that. Next we had assailANT vs. assailANT. Really good, hard-hitting match. I mean, really sold the storyline again about these two factions just being so heated and so driven to hurt each other, and really, I liked it a lot. Finish was flat again, another flat finish, just kind of quick and out of nowhere. assailANT attacking him after the match was I kind of liked it, just add a little bit extra to the storyline. F.I.S.T and Ophidian versus 3.0 Generico and Gran Akuma. Very fun match, good action, crowd was into it. Everyone worked very well together. You know, it was your typical Atomicos match. You know, it's a lot of fun to watch. That's about it. During the main event for this show, the Grand Championship match between Eddie Kingston, the champion, and Dasher Hatfield. Very good match. Probably Dasher Hatfield's best match of his career. Really good underdog story being told. Some really good near falls. Crowd really thought that they could see Dasher Hatfield win. They were really behind him solidly. It was, you know, they really made Dasher Hatfield look like he could go over here. So kudos for CHIKARA for that. Another really good match. Really enjoyed it. Then we had The Great Escape. This was the best of the 4 shows by far. And I gotta say right now, the crowd here in this show was absolutely amazing. They really helped this show, by the way. First match was assailANT vs. deviANT. This was another good matchup. Pretty stiff looking, and like it was hard to tell like if they were actually stiffing each other or like just, you know, working that style. But assailANT looked a little like he kind of botched at first, so that kind of bothered me. He just looked like he mistimed a few things, so that kind of hurt it a little bit. Then we had the third Young Lion Cup opener with Cobalt, Cameron Matthews, Jivin Jimmy, and Anthony Stone. This is very fast-paced, really, really great. Also, one thing I liked about it was like the first 2 guys came out, and then like immediately they started fighting, and like so the other guys were coming out while they were still fighting. So I thought that was a little bit more interesting. You know, and also this one kind of broke into like a 4-way throughout the whole thing. Like they never really worked on tags at all. Like it was kind of almost just a 4-way the entire time, which was kind of cool and made it a little bit more different and interesting from the others. So I like that. A lot of great high spots. Jivin Jimmy was great here. The crowd was really behind him. The crowd was super hot this whole thing, really. And, you know, really great. I really enjoyed this one a lot. This one surprised me. I think, like, this one would have been the best one if it had not been for the one following show. Then we had Frightmare and Ophidian. This was Frightmare's, like, big return match, kind of like it was like his officially back on the roster, I guess. Really good fast-paced match. Nice story to it. You know, Ophidian working over Frightmare's body parts, and Ophidian, I gotta admit, he took a lot of spots like where he like looked like he landed right in his head. So Ophidian's like selling really as a heel has been so great, and really enjoyed watching him sell moves. Really good and nice return match for Frightmare to give him some like kind of momentum. Like he didn't win, but he looked good, and the crowd got behind him a lot. So next we had the debut of the mysterious and handsome stranger against Icarus. This was just so much fun to watch. I really enjoyed it. The crowd made this 10 times better, just because of how into it they were and how much behind the stranger they were. Just really great and so funny. Him and Icarus worked well together. The funny part where like John Barber, the sheriff of CHIKARA, like got involved in like, you know, and the stranger goes on a Texas Ranger, and just it's like Barber's just like, oh okay, you know, just like I thought that was funny. I'm not gonna talk much more about this match because it is really one of those matches you just gotta see to understand, but really enjoyable. I really enjoyed this match. And then we had the trio of 3.0 and Akuma versus the Swarm and assailANT. This was part of Wink Professor's CHIKARA teams he'd put together for trios. This is a fun trios match. The story of like the trios all trying to kind of like cooperate together because they're all thrown together trios was interesting, and it was kind of cool to watch, you know, and like just see how they work together. Really short though. I didn't get very much time at all. Then we have Bravado's the Bacteria versus Jakob, Hammermeier, and Tim Donst. This whole match was just basically about the story of Tim Donst kind of like attacking Jakob Hammermeier and kind of like turning his back on him almost, which it had a pretty good story to it, and I liked it. and but the action was kind of like second nature to the story, to the storyline of the match. So it was pretty quick though, so I didn't mind. Then we had the Chikara vs. Sugar Dunkerton, very basic match, very short, and really did nothing at all for me. It left like zero impression. I think Chikara did a kind of a weird job of booking Sugar Dunkerton for his whole return. Like, it just felt like none of his matches were important or meant anything when he won or lost them. Then we had another Atomicos match with Mike Quackenbush, Jigsaw, UltraMantis Black, Hallowicked against the Young Bucks and the Heartthrobs. This was a very enjoyable match. Kind of slow in the middle, but really picked up at the end. Heartthrobs had a little trouble keeping up with the others, I think. I think they were just a little too... weren't used to working a Chikara-style match, and just kind of looked like they were kind of had to be helped a little bit, carried on. But this was really good, really entertaining. The Heartthrobs were pretty funny, and the Chikara crowd got into them pretty well. But a lot of fun, this match. And I like the fact that they teased UltraMantis and Hallowicked against the Bucks, which actually played into King of Trios a little bit. Then we had the main event, which was for the Grand Championship between Eddie Kingston and Sara Del Rey. This was an awesome match. This was probably the second best Chikara match of the year, just behind the main event from Chikara vs. Rex. Great back and forth. Really, really great near falls. A few of them I even bought into, and like the crowd really got hot for this match near the end, and really wanted to talk to him. Like, they were booing Eddie Kingston when he retained, but this was a phenomenal way to sell Sara out, and it's really a shame that that this couldn't have been an iPay-per-view main event, because it could have been, I think, and this could have been. I think if Sara hadn't been leaving for WWE, I think that she probably could have been the one who wins the belt from Eddie Kingston, which would have been a huge thing for her, and it's kind of a big thing for Chikara for putting their main belt on a woman wrestler, which I don't think any company has ever done before, at least like kind of big time wrestling. But yeah, great match, definitely worth going out of your way to see it, and this is definitely why this show, The Great Escape, is probably the best of the 4 shows on this of these 4. And then we had the last one, which is Give 'Em the Axe. This was alright. This was just a decent show. This one was kind of just never really it just felt like a non-important show, really, I think, and just kind of like a show that was just there, and it was fun for what was there, but really nothing really spectacular. First match was the Spectral Envoy versus the Swarm and Soldran. Good trios matches. Action was pretty simple. Real point of the thing was just to show the dissension between the Swarm and Soldran, that part of the storyline, which was fine. Then we had Ophidian versus Sugar Dunkerton. I kind of like the whole thing of like Sugar being blinded at the beginning, and then like the commentators brought up the whole past between like the two of them, like how Ophidian was injured by Sugar Dunkerton in a match last year. So that was kind of cool, but really short match, and it just felt like there's no point to it besides the fact that they had these two have a match, which was the kind of the story of Sugar Dunkerton this whole weekend. Next we had the Mysterious and Hamstring Stranger versus the Shard. Decent matchup. Not as much fun as it was the other night. I think it was just because the Shard's not really a comedy wrestler, while Icarus definitely is and can work a really good comedy match. Honestly, the highlight of this whole match was the Stranger bringing out a rocking horse and like nearly tearing apart the entire set, and I thought that was funny. But other than that, just, it was still entertaining, but just didn't quite live up to the especially after like the very entertaining match from the night before. This one definitely didn't live up to the expectations, I think. Next we had 3.0 and Akuma versus the Batiri. Really good matchup. Heat segment went a little long, in my opinion, and just kind of like dragged a little too much. But it was still a fun match. Last few minutes were really great, as most trios matches are. Ending was really cool and working the storyline of like basically the Batiri and Ophidian beginning to work with Delirious, and that was really cool, and it was become like a bigger part of the storyline as Chikara goes forward. So I like that a lot. I thought it really fit. Next we had Sara Del Rey and Icarus. This is more of a comedy match than anything else, really. The action, there was a lot of action here and there, but mostly it was just these two guys, these guy and a girl, just kind of having fun. This is Sara Del Rey's last match in Chikara, actually, and so they're just, kind of like hamming it up for the crowd and just having a few laughs, and it was fun, and it was a nice. I kind of wish that they had had this match before the Grand Championship match, because I think that would have been a better way to send Sara Del Rey off, but whatever. Still good, pretty good fun match though, entertaining to watch. Then we had Jigsaw versus Jakob Hammermeier. Decent matchup. Nothing really special about it. Just kind of cool to see Jakob get a big win. The interesting thing was that the crowd was like so very split. Like they were really pro Jakob and kind of booing Jigsaw a little bit. So that was kind of interesting, I thought. Then we had Lost Ice Creams versus Gran and Steve the Turtle Whiner. This was supposed to be Mario Giannetti in there instead of Steve, but he couldn't make the show, so Steve the Turtle replaced him, which this caused a kind of controversy that like where some people in the crowd were very vocal about, you know, oh, why they're putting Steve out there when they have a whole locker room full of guys. I'm not going to get into that. If you ask me, Steve did fine here. This was just a comedy match. You know, in Lost Ice Creams were in top form. They were very funny. Greenhead did the bulk of the work, and then Steve got in there at the last minute and you know, got hit with sprinkles and took the fall, which was it was a funny comedy match, and you know, that's about it. I'll leave it at that. And then we had the Young Lion Cup qualifier between ACH, Aaron Epic, Vinny Marilagani, whatever his name is, and JT Dunn. This was an amazing match. This was the best qualifier of the 4 shows. ACH is so impressive in this match. I love this guy. Dunn and Epic were great too. Vinny, I didn't think he got enough time in there. He was alright, but he really got kind of eliminated pretty early. But the 3 guys, Epic, Dunn, and ACH, stole the show. I think, in my opinion, they were incredible. Really amazing spots, and just really, you got to see this match. It was unbelievable, and I cannot wait to see what ACH does later on in the shows. I haven't gotten to them yet. But really impressive, and then the only reason I don't give this match a higher rating is just because it wasn't very long, but really, really great. And then we had the main event for the Campeonato de Parejas between the Young Bucks and the Throwbacks. Very good tag team match. Dragged a little bit in the middle when they're working over Dasher. I thought just kind of went a little too long, but you know, that's fine, I guess. All around, it was a really good match, and had a nice story to it with the Throwbacks kind of like Dasher touched on before the match that they're going to do it the honorable way, and I kind of wish they would have done a little bit more with that. They did it for the first fall, but they didn't really touch upon it near the end. I kind of wish they like touched and I gone to cheat again, and Dasher had stopped him or something. But whatever, it's all right. But it was still a good match, and yeah, really fun. So that's it for these 4 shows. Honestly, I could see you going out of your way to get all 4 of them, because they're all very entertaining in their own right. Definitely check out The Great Escape, though. That is probably the best of the 4, and you know, especially for the main event, which is Eddie Kingston and Sara Del Rey, which is definitely going to be up there for CHIKARA Match of the Year. Alright guys, that's it for now. Look for my other reviews soon. I should have, hopefully, King of Trios done by this weekend, or at least started, so look for that soon. Alright, take care, bye.